Okay. So I chose to do sentences uh, A, that's supposed to say A, C, and D. So the first sentence, I have everything kind of pre-written out so I don't have to write it down as I go. But started off with, categorizing all of the parts of speech. I categorized Wheel of Fortune as a compound noun since it's like a proper noun. And so I put the determiner and that noun together to create a noun phrase. The adjective sports in sports car, I made into an adjectival phrase and another adjectival phrase with portly. So the first part of the sentence, the portly fella, um, the portly fella, that all goes together into crossed over into that. All of this is one noun phrase. So this is the first part of the sentence. Now the second part, won a sports car on the Wheel of Fortune. So what I decided to do is I made a preposition, right, or a prepositional phrase with the preposition and the noun phrase. But then I put the determiner, the adjectival phrase, I guess, sports and car together in a noun phrase, and I didn't connect them because it seems like if it's saying, the portly fellow won a sports car on the Wheel of Fortune, if the preposition is connected to the verb phrase, then it's it's saying that, the portly fella, the subject, won the sports car on, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is connected to winning. But if the preposition was connected to the noun phrase, it would seem like the sports car was on like the actual Wheel of Fortune, like physically, rather than it being like one on the show. And so that's why I put together the preposition, the verb phrase into the noun phrase, and the preposition, rather than connecting the prepositional phrase, to the noun phrase, and then connect those both to be the tense phrase. So the next one, Alina suggested that we visit the less touristy sites. So this one has an embedded clause. And so the first noun phrase, also I indexed or used indices to designate that Alina is one, and then the pronoun we is not referring, it's referring to more, subjects outside of the sentence. So first, connect the adjectival phrases of less and touristy, and I connected the less touristy sites into one noun phrase, because these adjectives, structurally come right before the noun and in between the determiner, so those go together. And then what I did was I created a verb phrase from visit and the noun phrase, the less touristy sites. And then I made a tense phrase with the noun phrase we and the verb phrase visit the less touristy sites. And this can be on its own, right? Because it's just a tense phrase. So you could not have the first half of the sentence and you could say, we visit the less touristy sites. That's a tense phrase on its own. So that works. And then I made a complementizer phrase by connecting that, which is the complementizer, to the tense phrase. And then the beginning of the sentence, Alina, that's its own noun phrase. And you can just connect that to the tense phrase. And then I created a verb phrase from suggested, which is just a verb, and the complementizer phrase, that we visit the less touristy sites. So the embedded clause is, you know, we visit the less touristy sites, and it's embedded through the word that. Alina suggested that we visit the less touristy sites, and then connecting that verb phrase to the noun phrase Alina. And then the last sentence that I chose to do is the chivalrous salamander saved the lizard from certain doom. So similar to A, which is the portly fella won the sports car, I kept the prepositional phrase as a part connected directly to the verb phrase, rather than the noun phrase. So I'll just connect the, you know, adjectival phrases real quickly. And then, so the first noun phrase that I made was between certain doom. And then I made the prepositional phrase from certain doom, right? So I connected those. And then the lizard I have as its own constituency, I think is what I can call it. So since it's just words that are connected together. So the lizard. And then to make the verb phrase, what I did is I connected the verb saved with the lizard and the preposition from certain doom. And again, the reason I didn't connect the noun phrase to the prepositional phrase is because if we're talking about like the lizard, you know, it's being saved, the action that's happening is connected to from certain doom. If it was connected to the lizard, it would mean that the lizard was from certain doom, which doesn't make any sense because in this sentence, certain doom is not referring to like a city called certain doom or a place called certain doom. It's an adjective and a noun. So the lizard is, you know, from certain doom is connected to being saved rather than immediately to the lizard. And then I made a noun phrase with the beginning part of the sentence, the chivalrous salamander. So we connect these two, or three. So the chivalrous salamander is its own thing, and then saved the lizard from certain doom is its own section, and it's the verb phrase and then the noun phrase, and then they're both connected. Ooh, that was not a good one. As a tense phrase,